So now I'm recording with the Sony Xperia 5 Mark II and it's a recording test, 1080p 60 frames per second. So you know that I did a test on the Xperia Pro I and always ran into the issue that it's overheating after 6 to 8 minutes or slightly above this, depending on the temperature and what you did before with the device, and I could not get it to have indefinite recording in 1080p 60 frames per second. So now I'm testing out the Xperia 5 Mark II, the oldest Xperia device from the newer lineup, 21:9 lineup. I think I have an Xperia 1 still, but the one that I want to test it out with. This is the Photo Pro app in basic mode for video. It's the ported version from the Mark III series. The Video Pro app is not functioning, at least the recording button is not working for me for some reason for 1080p 60, so I just am recording with this. To not make it as boring as this might sound like a normal video, I'm talking about these Sony LinkBuds here and tell you a bit about my experience using them for roughly a month now. So the Sony LinkBuds have a nice little design that you saw already, which is this shape where you have holes inside. It's an open fit design and I really like this. First thing that I noticed is I switched back to the default rings here to hold into my ear. What I do usually is put them into my ear, but not only into my ear, I start twisting them so that this knob here is sitting on my ear from the inside. This is maybe not instructed and not wanted by Sony, but this is the way I experienced it to hold a bit better and not to strain my ears so much, and I get a little bit of better sound quality. Talking about sound quality, I went to the equalizer and just adjusted and added, I think it's called Mega Bass or something like this. I added a little bit of bass into the headphones because I noticed after listening to other headphones that they are lacking a little bit in bass, but you can compensate this with the included equalizer in the headphones app from Sony. So this is working pretty nice. I like this. Otherwise, very comfortable to wear. I have to say, I can listen to them pretty long, podcasts and videos, but you have like a limitation usually for 4 hours, then they run empty. This is what I usually get, and you can charge them 2 to 3 times with this here, which is not the idealist or not the best, but it's very small, it's lightweight. And what I usually do is like listening to podcasts with this or even music if I want to. And what I really like is that they are pretty good in connecting. Here you can see that this is the connection, I think, dialog from Android that pops up, and this pops up on every Android app, that Android smartphone that supports this. LG G8X that I have here, Xperia 1 Mark III of course, and others as well. The cool thing is that I can connect multiple devices to it, but not at the same time. So that means they don't have multi-point support, multi-device support, but I can connect this phone. I can then say, okay, I want to connect now from this phone. It disconnects from this phone and connects to this phone, and it does automatically. So if I have it in my list and I paired it before already with this device, I can just click on it. It will automatically disconnect from the old device, connect to the other device. I have multiple devices that I tried it on. Huawei MatePad 11, for example, P50 Pocket, P50 Pro, and other devices here as well. And that's really interesting, and it's working pretty nice. And I have not any issue with this one because it's just simply having an infinite list apparently. So I know from LG, for example, they have limitations, I think 5 or 6 or 8 devices, something like this. And I get some messages here as well. People want to know I'm popular, as you see, at least when not on YouTube, at least in terms of chat. Otherwise, what I have tried out is multiple devices on LG. I have 5 to 8 devices. It forgets the oldest device if you connect a new device, and then you have to repair it with the older device later on if you want to use it. I don't have this issue here on the Sony LinkBuds, which is pretty interesting. So far I did not run into this issue, which is thumbs up for this, Sony. At least if you don't give us multi-point, multi-device support, then this is sufficient, I would say. Otherwise, I don't have any issues with sound quality. After I raised the bass a little bit, had my own equalizer run to it, I can run with those. They're holding pretty nice in my ear, so I did some sports running around and they're not falling off, at least with this twisted method that I showed you before. That might be not for everyone's ears, but it is working fine. What I noticed is that I have some connectivity issues here and there. So in contrast to other headphones, when I leave my phone in one room, go to another room, and then want to do something under my desk, I have like stutters or breakups of music or sound, which I usually don't have with LG, Huawei or others. In such situations where I'm really leaving the range, usually what Huawei headphones do is like reducing the quality. You get super bad quality, but you can still listen to a podcast, for example, because it's just spoken language. To music, you can notice that it's like really bad quality, but you notice then, okay, I'm out of range, I have to go into range, and then the quality adjusts itself. On other headphones, you have also sometimes stutters, or just they pause altogether until you're back in range, and they are like this is what you usually hear with them when you're losing the range, and it's a bit of an issue that I noticed that I don't have so much with other headphones, all the other headphones that I tried so far. And it can even happen, usually I have my P50 Pro and my Xperia Pro I here. I have them sandwiched up and put them into my pocket, and depending on how I put them into my pocket, if I put them this way into my pocket, and the Xperia Pro I connect to my LinkBuds, and this is facing to my body, I have connection issues sometimes when I just walk around the city or something like this. If I put it the other way around, no issues, but then if I have them connected to the P50 Pro, also the same issue. So it's not a phone specific thing, it's a LinkBuds specific thing, so the headphones have these issues, which is a bit of a bummer, I would say, here and there. I really would like them to be a little bit better. I got 2 software updates so far that claim to fix here stuff, but stability issues, I think they really didn't fix. I still have those stability issues which I don't encounter with other headphones so much. So this is something Sony has to work on, because I think it shouldn't be like this. Even if it's only AAC, sound quality is good, and I don't have any issues with this at all, and I don't miss LDAC or HDC, so the higher quality stuff needs also higher quality source audio. Maybe this is also a reason, and I think there's some things with Android where it has also a limit in terms of certain music files that it can play back. Otherwise, connected them with various different devices. Connection is working fine. Music sound quality is good. The app is good, but after setting up the equalizer, I really didn't bother with it. The detection for tapping here on my face, I disabled, because if you are putting them in and you are eating something like a big burger or something like this, it can accidentally trigger this, and so I have just the tap features. I really would like Sony to add a little bit more tap features here. 3 times tapping and 2 times tapping on one ear, and on the other ear maybe tap and hold if it's possible, or 4 times tapping even for certain actions, just like, for example, raising the volume or lowering the volume. I could imagine like 4 times tapping on the right ear for raising, on the left ear for lowering the volume, instead of like I have now my left earbud for raising and lowering the volume, double tap for raising, triple tap for lowering. Instead of like this would make things a little bit easier. Otherwise I have to decide, do I want play pause, do I want volume control, or do I want play pause, do I want voice control, voice assistant control? Really, Sony doesn't need to be like this. So there's something that Sony can still improve in terms of controls for the headphones, and this is possible probably with an update of the software firmware update. Otherwise, the case itself charges pretty quickly. The earbuds itself charge pretty quickly, and never had the issue where they were completely empty and could not use them anymore. Otherwise, the yeah, the headphones produce a good sound, warm sound, clear sound. You get this nice immersive kind of feeling where it is open fit. You can still hear the surroundings around you, but they are not coming out like usually open fit Huawei FreeBuds, Apple AirPods. Usually the surrounding sound is coming from the surround into your ear, and the music is coming like this. And here it's the other way around. The surround sound basically is coming like this, and the music is coming like this. And this is something very interesting, very unique, and I think it is better in terms of open fit, in terms of listening to music. I think it is a little bit better, because if I'm going shopping, for example, and apologize to all the people at the cash register, but I leave them in my ear usually. With the FreeBuds 4, I would not do this because I have difficulty understanding when they're asking me something. With those, I don't, because probably of the hole, and it's directly going in, and the music is just like a side thing that coming from the sides, which is pretty awesome and pretty interesting, and an interesting psychological effect as well. So something definitely to try out for those people who never listen to the Sony LinkBuds, or someone that comes up with a similar design. Otherwise, yeah, it's a pretty good headphone, pretty good, no issues with them in regards to sound quality. What I noticed is the case. When we're talking a little bit about the case, the plastic is of course recycled plastic. If I put it together with some keys or other stuff in my pocket, you can get black strains here and there. So if you are choosing between white and black, maybe the black version is a bit better. You can wipe them away, of course, with your finger later on, but it's a bit of noticeable after a few times wearing them in your pocket or putting them into your pocket. Otherwise, the price, I think the price is a little bit too high, 179, I think 180 euros, 130, maybe with a little bit of pain, 150 euros would be like okay-ish for those, but I think the price point is 130, and ultimately later on this year, 120, in this 100 to 120 region, I would say, is the perfect sweet spot for those. If you find them in those regions, then just enjoy them. If you need open fit design where you can have sports with, those are the ones if you want to get them. Otherwise, other open fit headphones are a bit better. I think even the FreeBuds 4 in terms of sound quality might have an edge here, but they have the traditional design where, like I said, sound is coming from here, surrounding sound from there, and this is like a different experience. It's like a bit of lighter experience, I have to say. But on the contrast, it's also psychological effect, because the sound is coming from there. It's like more like a side thing, like listening to podcasts. But if you want to listen to music, really sit down, listen to music, maybe you shouldn't get the open fit designs. But then this open fit FreeBuds is way better than this. Same as for sleeping, interestingly enough. I think those for sleeping are a bit better than the FreeBuds, because the FreeBuds are just falling out if you sleep. But those are not, they tend not to fall out. Depending on how hard your pillow is, you can just lie down on those without any issues there, depending on how big your ear is, of course. They're not touching, not pressing against my ear, which is pretty nice. So you have also the possibility to sleep in them, which is, yeah, also a nice addition for this. Yeah, otherwise I'm happy with those. The price is the only thing that makes me a little bit unhappy, and the connectivity issues are something that Sony has to work on. I mean, the headphones app is a great app, but in terms of possibilities, I would wish them to have a bit more possibilities, 4x tap or something like this, even if it's like looking a bit weird and ridiculous, and probably you cannot do the 4x tap on your cheek or something like this for it to recognize it. But yeah, this is what I think about the Sony LinkBuds. What do you think about the LinkBuds? Did you try them? Are you interested in them? Write it down in the comment section. And yeah, this is basically my verdict on the Sony LinkBuds. And now I'm checking if this is still recording. I hope it is still recording. It seems to be still recording. 14 minutes going straight on the Xperia 5 Mark II. So it's recording longer than the Xperia Pro I in 1080p, 60 frames per second. I think I'm reaching the 15-minute mark in a minute. So this is good. I think it's a bit of flickering. I hope it's not flickering too much for you the whole video. Anyway, this is good. Is the device getting hot? Oh, I'm not even feeling any hotness here on this device. It's not even getting hot. So that means, yeah, if you want to record longer than, yeah, what was it, 6, 8, 9, 10 minutes, don't use the Xperia Pro I, use the Xperia 1 Mark II, 5 Mark II. What I didn't try out is the, what is it, 1 Mark III, that also some people are reporting having difficulties with overheating. This is one thing that I will try out in a following video, probably. Also some Sony related topic I will talk about, so we can overcome this long test of video. But yeah, it's not showing me any overheating signs still, and recording over 15 minutes already, no overheating sign. Pretty awesome, pretty good. I think I will leave it at this, and would say yes, the Xperia 5 Mark II surpassed my 1080p 60 frames per second video test on the main camera. And until the next time, bye.